This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Last night, Fitz. Big one on MAFS.
Oh, MAFS, it was the first dinner party last night. I think this is a record because I think this is one of the first times a contestant has left after a couple of days. Eliot was not there. Eliot was not happy with his wife, Lauren, and he sat down with the expert John Aiken to talk about it a little bit more.
Let's be honest. You're here on this show because you're 35 and single and you've been going out with young women and it hasn't worked.
And I get that narrative that...
It's not a narrative, it's just fact. I think that you are involved in a pattern, a toxic pattern. You've been matched with someone who, after 2 days, you've decided isn't right and you're running. But I need you to look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I sabotaging these relationships?
I don't, is my answer.
And that's your problem.
Oh, it was deep. He lasted 2 days on MAFS and he joins us now. Eliot, welcome to the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie show.
Hey boys, how you doing?
Massive
Very
episode,
good.
Eliot. Massive.
Now, before we start, I need to ask you, Eliot, have you not watched the show before? Like, I mean, do you honestly believe that they're going to match you with someone who you would like to go onto the show with? Did you honestly think that was ever going to happen?
You know, that's the biggest question everyone always asks me. Like, they're like, haven't you seen the show? And actually, to be fair, like in the beginning of the audition phase, I had never watched it. Like, I didn't see one episode.
Right.
I never applied for it. They had a casting agent approach me on Instagram and be like, "Oh,
wow.
you should audition for the biggest show in Australia."
Yep.
And I didn't even know what it was. Like, I thought it could be The Block or something. And I was like, all right,
I love renovations.
Let's have a look at this. And then when I found out it was MAFS, I kind of pulled out and I said, look, I'm not really interested in doing this. I watched a few episodes of the previous season. I was like, it seemed like the pattern to me seemed like every season they have like maybe one, maybe two like actual good matches that get along, they're right for each other and have a great time. And then the rest it's all just about like, like bickering and arguing. And
you're not suggesting they try to validate the series each year. Hey, can I ask, Eliot, because Lauren is a really beautiful looking girl, like, and she's a fantastic person. So it seemed like such a big decision. And what we saw was just you basing your decision on her age, being 2 years older than you. Is that such a big deal?
Well, you know, she's amazing.
She's a great girl.
Look, no arguments there from me. It's not that I'm saying she's not. It's just there's a lot of things that they didn't show where we just didn't click.
Right.
And to be fair, when I went on the show, I did it on the thing. I actually told them up front. I was like, look, if I get matched with someone that's like outside of what I'm looking for, like I'll just leave. I said it over and over again. And so it's like, you know, they've just smashed their head against the wall and said, why are you doing this to us? Like, why are you leaving? And it's like, well, I literally said exactly what I would do if you did that. And then you did it. And then you were like surprised at the result you got. It's like, in terms of Lauren, it was more like we had very different family goals in mind. And so something like that, I get it. Like, you know, you can work on it, you can work on all these things. But if she's not really that interested in having a family, and that's something that's like the most important thing for me, right. There's no point. She could be Miranda Kerr. And it doesn't matter to me. Like,
does she not want to have a family?
No, she said
she wanted one
her
child.
words exactly. Her words exactly were, "Look, at the most, I would have one child. Like, I am going to freeze my eggs, and then later on in life, I'll consider having one kid." Right. And that to me, it's just two different.
Not what you're looking for.
Futures. No. I want someone that's like excited to be a mom and is like, that's what I want to be in life. Not someone that's like, oh, look, I don't want it to get in the way of, you know, my career or whatever like that.
Because
So all right. So we need. All right. So So you were approached to go on the show. You were hesitant about doing it, right?
Very hesitant.
Very hesitant to do it. You said, "This is what I'm looking for." They obviously didn't give you what you want, and you said to them, "Look, if I'm not feeling this, I'm leaving." Right? So after 2 days, you said, "Well, guys, you're not doing it." Can I ask you, what extent did they go to keep you on the show and try to get? You didn't rock up to the dinner party last night. What extent did they go to get you to that dinner party? Like, what were they offering you?
Oh, you don't even want to know. They begged him. That meeting I had with John, the funniest thing is I just went home. I was like, look, I don't want to be a part of the show. I left the honeymoon. It was in Fraser Island. And I'm like, I'm going home. Like, I'm done with this. Like, obviously it didn't work out. And I want to just kind of like do as much damage control as possible. Like, obviously going to make me look bad, whatever. Yeah. And then they begged and pleaded for me to come and sit down with John. They're like, we need to put an ending to this, so you need to come and sit down and speak to John. I had I get nothing out of going and meeting with John.
Seeing John.
And then I sit down with John, and the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, so, Eliot, you've begged me to have this meeting.
I love this so much.
I was like, and my reaction was like, this is stupid. And I went to walk out, and they all came over. They're like, no, we'll do it differently. We'll do it differently. Oh, so Eliot, I've organised this meeting. Of course, that doesn't get shown. The original gets shown, and they've got me,
of course,
like nodding my head like Rain Man or something.
Okay.
Like,
welcome to TV.
so they don't show any of my responses.
This is where we need to.
He tells me you're in a toxic cycle, and you're 35 and single, and this isn't working. You know what I said? I said my last relationship lasted longer than 2 days, though. So it turns out I'm a better matchmaker than you guys are. But obviously that doesn't get shown.
So this is what we have to work out. And I know, and I can, and Eliot, because you are a villain in Australia at the moment, and everyone's going. But you think so. If you stuck around, and anyone who watched the dinner party last night, Tim is a villain at the moment as well. But if you stuck around, I don't know what you would have had to go through. So last night, everyone was talking. You're out of it now, and you'll be forgotten about in a week or two.
Oh, you'll be back.
Lauren last night, I just need to bring this up as well, but this is her at the dinner party last night, and we just need to get your thoughts on this. This is what she had to say.
So what did he say when he left, or he didn't say anything?
He wanted someone who was 25. He wanted 5 children. You know, if he didn't get exactly what he wanted, he was going to leave. He also had really bad BO, so...
So we need to bring this. Hey, do you have bad BO, Eliot?
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? I mean, she
you've got to be careful here.
She said about 100 more things than that. So like that's them showing like one little thing. Like she was complaining about like my stubble, like anything that she could. She was like, this. Yeah. And so like, I don't take it personally. I mean, obviously she was put in a very bad situation. And I actually, like, they don't show this, but I felt really, really bad for her at the time because I felt like I was put in between a rock and a hard place. I go on the show saying, look, if you match me with someone that's like clearly not what I'm looking for, I'll leave. Yeah. If I stay, I mean, I'm like, oh, well, you know, what the fuck use is my word? Like, it means nothing. And then at the same time, obviously, I didn't go on there to hurt somebody. Like, and I knew it was going to, you know, reflect negatively on her. But what it doesn't show is the fact that there was a lot of stuff she didn't like about me. Yeah. She just wanted to. And look, this is where it becomes a little bit of a funny thing. A lot of people stay on that show just because they want to be on camera. And I know. And that was not what I was there for.
Hey, we've got to wrap, mate. We've got to wrap. But I want to say that
we've got to go to the news.
We've got to get to the news. But I think you'll end up probably with her and having a few more kids than one. So excited to see you guys.
No, Eliot. Just before you go, can we just make this clear? Now that you're out of the show, are you being paid by anyone? Like, is there any publications that have got you on board, or are you doing anything now?
No.
We haven't paid you for this.
No, it sucks. Hey.
No. So,
It's funny though, you guys mentioned about the infamy, and you would think that, but everywhere I go, people come up wanting a selfie, and they're like, "You're a legend." Every guy is like they wait till their girlfriend's not nearby. They're like, "I would have done the same thing." I haven't had one person say something like negative to me in person, but you read the comments and you think that I'm like going to be burned at the stake or something. It's hilarious.
Okay, mate. Good on you. We've enjoyed watching.
Well, look, you weren't painted very well, but the only good thing that you've done is got out of there in 2 days. So we appreciate you coming on the show and giving us your time, Eliot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
No worries, guys.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.